Alrighty, thank you for coming back once again, my wonderful tome readers, and welcome for those who are here for the first time. Today is our second time doing the. I just realized that ref is in the way of the text. One sec. Did not think to check that. Let's see, what if I put him somewhere else? What if I. No, because I don't want to block the. Okay, there we go. It'll work in this corner. But yeah, we're going to do a little work on the model's face today. I'm using this reference to help get the shadows in the, I don't want to say jowls, between the smile and the cheeks just right. But I need something that's a bit more three-quarter view so I get it right. Let's see, I should be able to... No, because I did... That's right. That's not showing this window. That's just showing directly the image. Oh well. So I can't mouse over it and show exactly what details I'm trying to use. But as you can kind of see, on the viewer's left, his right, that particular shadow is darker, just because in the direction of the light in comparison to the other one. It's a little bit of a smaller smile, but there's a bit of fat underneath the chin, so even with the turned head, you see some of it kind of peeking out just under the jawline. I think this is gonna get me the look I want, so it's gonna be a great help. Now, in comparison to most actual older folks, the eyes are a good bit larger here than human proportions would allow, especially for showing these whites here. But I decided that's fine. I'm fine with the almost... And shut up, train! I'm okay with this kind of almost anime chibi look, though I think I do need to bring this one up a little bit. Now that I'm zoomed out, this does seem to be showing a bit too much there. So I'll have to adjust both those eyes, but we can do that in a bit, because we're going to try and focus on the mouth, and those with a not so keen eye might have noticed this. Those of you who have been here a while might have even forgotten that this teacup I made a long way back for the first of my throwable book P&G series that I use with, what is it, K-Bonk? Yeah, K-Bonk. From Rocca's book, the first one I made. And I figured later, if I either get tired of doing the face, frustrated, or just just to have time to do one of the hand poses, I will use this as the base for a nice little teacup to be held in one of the pose's hands. Because I do want let's see, zoom out a little bit, a similar pose to this, with a hand looking good for gripping, with just one finger out here that I can also just hook a teacup on, but also layered just so that the front side fingers will be a separate layer from the hand and the thumb and the back, and perhaps even the pointer as well, so I can place things in that hand, maybe for a comedic effect or what have you. But that will be for later. So for now, let's just get the teacup. Oh, there you go. Size down slightly. There we go. I'm going to work on it. That'll be close to the actual size. Get that finger hooked in. But for now, we can just do that. Work on... Where's this one? Ah, yes, in there. Perfect. Some saves for the minor changes I have done. Let's see, I think... Oh, right. We need to bring this whole one... Actually, probably this whole layer down just a bit. Down a bit too far. There we go. That's about in line with where the chin is. Yeah, it's not perfect, But that means it'll be less we have to change up here to get this kind of curve in. Something I forgot to do last time. And, oh yes, and before I get into that, there is a pinned message that I need to make up really quick. It is part of my plan to help support my friends, so we're going to leave it a slight surprise until I get it up and pinned. Oh, forgot to turn off my heater. Let's turn off that ambient noise that some of y'all will not want, drowning out the desktop audio. Give me some Minecraft backing music. Paste that, and there we go. Let me pin it. I've also set a timer for the message to appear regularly in the chat. But yes, Library Sphinx is the wonderful, beautiful, very fun Braca of the Quilling Quarrel Studios channel. And though they have not updated the Ko-fi to reflect their change in name, Grimes the Alchemist, aka Madeline the Alchemist, both very good friends who are very much not in great places right now. And as it turns out, something I knew years ago but forgot until brought up again by their recent research, to go to another country with the intent of fully moving there takes money, not even just the process of application. Because, I mean, countries don't want to just take in any old down-on-their-luck person, perhaps even those trying to escape the long-armed law in their own country, even for stupid reasons, like them suddenly criminalizing just being trans. A lot of them, especially in the EU, want a minimum amount of money in your bank account to prove that you can at least take care of yourself for a time. And I think they said it was about 10,000 euros in your bank account, not counting the actual cost to, get there, whether by plane or train or automobile or whatever. If you can hopscotch there, do it, but that cost cannot be included in the actual bank account number for them to accept that you won't just be a drain on their resources. Which is annoying, but bureaucracy is what it is. So yes, please help them, and on top of helping them, if you do so during my stream, even more so, I will match your donation to the other, to help ensure that neither is just being more supported than the other. I want both of them to be safe, even if it means for a time that they're out of contact because they need to settle down, full force, focus on a place to live and another job, and that they can't be on Discord or even Twitch messaging so much. I would much rather them be safe and out of touch for a time than the worst happen. And I don't even want to go into the details of what the worst might be, because I don't want it to happen. They are friends, and I only have one job, but I also have a mortgage. For those of you who are in the Discord, or perhaps saw me on some of the Twitter posts back when that wasn't a trash hole, I do own a house. I'm paying a mortgage on it, and what's more, it is a duplex. So, not trying to move that. It is a duplex, so I do have tenants. And that was not a choice out of greed. I got a good deal because I was a coworker with the last owner. And they retired and were trying to liquidate the assets that they had accumulated over time, such as, owning multiple homes. Uh, there's only so much they could do in that regard. And why? Stop moving everything. And this is... Yeah, they gave me a good deal because they knew me. They trusted me. They knew I wasn't going to just rack up the price of rent and just go for full profit. Though the original tenants did leave, that was largely their own decision, because they were being... They would rather leave under their own power than having to be kicked out, because they, as soon as the transfer happened, they no longer cared to follow the rules regarding smoking indoors, which, I live in the building too, which meant is also my stuff at risk of burning down. But they left amicably after that. And I currently have very good tenants who I can trust, who, even though pets are not allowed, they are kind enough to say, hey, heads up, we just need to watch our mother's pet while she has to step out of town for a medical emergency, stuff like that. And it's like, yes, of course, thank you for letting me know, instead of, trying to hide it. And, yeah, it's sucks it has to happen, but at least they're upfront about it, Also, what's going on with the hair here? Do I just need to move this all the way up? Stop scrolling on me. There's the behind the head, because there's another one for the hair in front. Here we are. This will need to be adjusted as well. Some bits not being quite the same, but this would be about there. Actually, don't need that one. Yeah, we will not leave hair visible, but it's nice getting those adjusted for when we do. But yes, I can't just give all the money I can spare to my two friends. Much as it would help get them out of the country sooner, I'm not rich enough by myself to ensure even just one of them can get out of the country, let alone both. And also, I need some for emergencies in case there's something in dire need for repair or replacement here. It would be unfair to my tenants to do otherwise. Because even though I understand there is house insurance, if they have tenants insurance, in case something like a fire or flood destroys stuff that is needed. I mean, for anyone who's ever had to rely on property insurance like that, you know that they drag their feet to actually pay you. Oh, they'll cover like a hotel room and what have you until enough repairs are done, but anything more than that, they can be very bureaucratic about it. There's the head. There, so we need... Not there. Where's that portion of the head? There we go, it's a combination of these two. So let's see, first we need to do this and adjust cranium, which I believe I'll need to do this, yes. Alright, zoom out, yes, because it needs a dip about here. Not quite that much. So you need to make this corner so it only does this one. Make this corner so I can do that. There. And that there. All right. The right side, where is base? There we go. these down like such. God, I hate when I reopen stuff. It does all this shit. There we go, right. Need this face. There we go. And once again, another case of it's not perfect, but it's enough that you can see the comparison correctly. Okay. Oh yes, and like my friends, if anyone else is struggling to, keep head above water right now, do not panic or let anxiety consume you. Remember to, even if it's unhealthy, take time to do things that make things easier. Like have been up until recently doing my best to not drink excess amounts of soda, because it's bad for me. At work, because I get free drinks, the place we have a nice fountain drink station. I go back and forth on water and soda. Deal with myself to only drink as much soda as I drink water. If I finish a glass, I cannot have another glass of soda until I have as much water, etc. More restroom breaks needed, yes, but I mean, to keep myself from succumbing to dehydration, it's a necessity. However, today I currently have a double extra large big gulp 7-Eleven down the street, because good lord, I need the caffeine to handle everything that's happening. But it is a common tactic of regimes to try and do so much at once it overwhelms. So the question is, are you really going to let them have such an easy time about it? I didn't think so. So we all need to do our best, keep head above water, or it's just helping them out. Let's see, yep, that's the right one I need to do. Okay, so to match this, should bring it up to here. Also, let's see. Yeah. There we go. Let's see if I do. This, that gets us a lot of the curves where we need them. That we do. See, this needs to be closer to there, but not connecting. That is the key. And actually, we don't need that point. This one looks to be just thinner, because the cheek is kind of overlapping where the shadow is, but it needs to be darkest up here. There we go, and I think also to do a counter turn. There we go. Now we're getting some of that roundness back. Though I'll also need to bring in this cheek. It looks like, because reference, this is more flat, which I guess it makes sense. It's not like the cheeks just bulge out from the face like that. But we are focusing on this shadow for now. Move all these down some. We need to make this thinner, that a bit more fuller. Outside, there we go. looks like it's... There we go. This corner as well, so we can expand out. Alright, that almost matches the curve of the nose. I think zoomed out it'll be even less obvious about that overlap. Yes, that looks good. Perfection is not the goal, but close perfection. Bordering on realism, despite the cartoonish proportions, is all we want. See, I think, let's see, let's make this straight line there. Oh, not trying to move both. Then we delete that point. Of course it does this. We can curve in like that. See, one of the things I like most about art is how sometimes realism actually detracts from a piece. As long as you're getting the emotions perceived that you want, the details that are important for what you're trying to evoke in your audience, then that is enough. Let's see. So a bit in. Looks almost flat, but I'd like to keep the kind of implied roundness of these. Because nice smooth curves are nicer in a kind of visual language of art. Harsh lines can seem more utilitarian, like Jorgen von Strangle in Fairly Odd Parents. As a very drill instructor, military-esque man, despite being a wish-granting fairy. Let's see, I think we need to let up on some of this. Alright, and then, instead of doing the solid color throughout, we're going to do darkness, which means going to this tool. Okay, darkness is there. This, there we go, because we wanted to get lighter there where it's supposed to be thinner. Now this end, let's just make sure, yes, that's it. We can actually make this a little less opaque, a little more dark. Then we add midpoint, we'll say about there. I think now if we just, actually no, we should make this end, there you go, just a lower amount of opaqueness, but still some, and now we make this particular layer fuzzy. I think that'll help. Okay, blur. Stronger blur than that for the shadows, but to compensate, we're going to have to make this darker, which means dropping some of this opacity. And also bring this out. I don't want to do full on, oh, wrong layer. There we go. That color, full on dark. Have it be there. Extend this out. Bring reducing how opaque it is. Same there. Which should look fine, because the mouth close will be a very minimal part of the talk cycle. So this being kind of fuzzy will kind of help add to the sense of movement, of being a temporary space. And then when I go to do the individual talking frames, I'll actually reduce the blur so it's sharper. Like it's more of an individual frame in the whole thing. But for now, leave it 13. 13 blur or thereabouts is actually pretty good for the kind of color values we're using. Alrighty. Then before we change this gradient to match that one, along with the fuzziness, we need to get the shape right. So to start, bring this up some, bring that side down, because this we need to straighten out going off the reference. It's less obviously round again. So here we go. Move this over. Actually, no. We'll do, instead of reinventing the wheel, we do that to kind of add this midpoint. Then we just reset that one to straight. So it's easier to see where it is. Because overall, what we need to do is kind of flatten out this area. Which we can do here more safely by making another point there, deleting that one, and again there to delete that one. Then this will be brought up to, I think about there is good. Yeah, there. It's a bit in line with this, just like it is in the reference. Though in the reference it goes a little further down, just even more fainter. But that level of detail won't be so easily visible here. Like even here, right here, you can just barely make that out. But it also gives the implication that it's further down. So, we'll do that. Let's see, I think we can delete this one. Oh, nope. That was load. Oh, right, because this overlap. So then we make one there and then delete it. That's fine there. We'll move this here. Oh, there we go. Do this, and then what we do here is we're going to make smaller little wrinkles kind of coming off, like this. We can kind of give more shape by doing that too. Give a corner. There we go. See, Inkscape is not the best for doing art like this, but I think that limitation is what makes this more fun. Like anyone who's a really big fan of Ruby by Rooster Teeth, I mean, you know, the first few seasons were actually not made with a proper animation program. It is made with something that's more for like posing or making GIFs, what have you, and it was just massively hacked by Monty Ohm to work the way he needed it to. But I think the fact that he had to do that is what helped give some of the charm to the series. The fact that he had to make workarounds to get the effects he wanted. And, I mean, the first 3 seasons, it felt like its own thing. I was never really a big fan of what happened seasons 4 onward in the animation style. Some of the heart and soul of Monty feel to be missing. And that's because they swapped to a proper animation style program, but a lot of it just became a lot more samey to other shows animated with that program. Like a lot of the backgrounds, it's like you could put any of the characters from shows that use the same program, and they'd fit, which is kind of the problem. It was no longer unique the way it used to be. And it didn't hurt the storytelling, but it didn't feel like its own property anymore. Especially compared to Genlock, another in-house animated series they did with the same program. Like, you could use the same backgrounds for it and Ruby, and the style would not be different enough to really no. You go, it's like, this is... I don't even notice the background is different unless it's pointed out that this place does not exist in the world of Remnant, in the world of Ruby. And I didn't like that. Because, like, a lot of, like, Disney shows, even if they're made by more or less the same people, have their own setting feel. Like, you can't just plop the characters into any old Disney show, even if they're animated in the same style, without going, like, something's not right here. These people should not be in this location. Even if you can't tell why, you know that they've got a different style to them that helps with the story. It may not reflect all the same values of the story, but you can tell that there are different points in mind. Like, Steven Universe has very, not exactly iconic backgrounds, but they're not the same as, say, Gravity Falls. Like, you could put the characters side by side, and yeah, you can kind of do it. Hey, Baringo, thank you for the raid. 1 second. I gotta finish this thought or I'm gonna lose track of it. You can put the characters of Gravity Falls and Steven Universe side by side, and it's like, yeah, they're very similar style themselves, but the backgrounds between the two shows vastly different. You can't just plop one to the other and go, yep, that fits. And that's why I disliked the change in animation style from Ruby's seasons 1 to 3 to the 4 and on. Okay, now the thought is out of my head. Welcome, Lindsay Raiders. Welcome, Parango, and the people you brought with you. Thank you for trusting me with your viewers. For those of you who are unfamiliar, I am Lucy the Ferris. This is the Morningstar Archives, and for about another 20 minutes or so, we're doing art. Oh yes, sometimes I talk too fast. It is a bad habit. It's hard to read and speak at the same time with the delay. But such is the way of auto-captioning. But yes, welcome all. Another 20 minutes of art before we do some Minecraft, which will probably be a bit more active and fun for y'all. Right, because you were not here at the beginning of the stream, right now the pinned message, two friends and fellow streamers, Braca and Madeline, are really not in a great place financially, and they're trying to really get out of the particular country, the US, that seems becoming much more dangerous for them. I love them both dearly, and if anyone is able to donate to one of them during the stream, I will match that donation to the other. Because I don't have enough money to help both, but if I can get any support towards one of them, I will help the other just as much. It won't be enough by myself, but with kind viewers such as yourselves, it can go a lot farther. Yeah, there's not a lot of great places one can go. I know, going off of another streamer who is openly trans, it's not the main topic of her streams, but what was it, last year she was recovering from surgery, so it made it kind of an important detail that came up once in a while. Nordic countries, from what I hear, are some of the safer ones, especially if you're going without enough time to learn proper language. A lot of them have English as a very common second language. It's just the darn pesky EU rules about minimum money and bank account. I should also do some artwork while I'm here. Minimum artwork certain money in your bank account, specifically in EU dollars, is the main thing keeping people from easily getting to another country. Let's see, I need... Nope, that's not it. Where's the other one? There. Let's see, this gradient is number 7. Okay, that'll be easy to find. But yeah, it's like I said, any amount you can spare, I will help cover the rest for the other friend, so that they can both get somewhere safer for the time being. And hopefully all together we can help them before the worst comes to pass. Let's see. There we go. Much more realistic now. I just need to fix this cheek line. Really. I had no problem maxing. I'm glad you're able to stay, but health always comes first, especially if it's such a bad headache. Thank you for coming in. I hope you feel better soon. And, well, since you won't be here later, I hope you're eating enough, drinking enough, getting enough sleep. Take care of your body so it can take care of you. And I'll see you around the Discord later. Alright, we have this cheek to finish. Just move that, and maybe this brow. It is starting to bother me now. Not as much as the neighbors, who seem to have given their kid a frickin' not even proper like dirt bike. It's not even a proper dirt bike. It is a frickin'... It is barely more engine than frame work. It is just like pipes and 2 small tires, like barely bigger than like 2 bald fists side by side. They are tiny ass tires. And yeah, I'm assuming it's a Christmas gift and not like the most pampered kid in this. Come on. Okay, I'm not gonna finish that right. It's a little rude. It's not offensive, but it's probably a little rude. But yeah, the dude like came into the yard and tore it up because he wanted to jump the road a bit, because our side at the culvert water drainage is a little steeper. He wanted to get some air, and it's like, dude, you don't even know our names. Why do you think you're allowed to just be here? Just ripping up our grass, because everything's mud. There's not enough heat to really properly dry it out, even though we haven't had snow melt for weeks. Yeah, left side. So yeah, it's just... Kids be rude-ass kids. I get that, but... I really wish they could be rude-ass kids in someone else's yard. What if we bring this up to here? We need to add another point there, I think. Bring this in. Yeah, that looks a lot better already. I think we just need to bring this out a little bit. Let's see, bring that... this in. No. There we go. That's looking good. Just because the reference image, the head's a bit more cocked than I'm trying to go for here. Then at this point we're gonna bring down here so there's more visible overlap, just like the chin there. Oh, come on. The frame of my window is just gonna get the zoom mixed up. There we go. Because I have a much larger version, so it's easier to see details. I think about there, and then I bring... Actually, I think we just straight delete that one. At this point, we say straighten. That's a lot better. Oh yes, and Barango, okay, you said your family picked Chile, and hopefully if that does not work out, it is more due to a time constraint than, like, them coming knocking at your doors already. I was glad. Some of the news I heard is that ICE lines have been, it's like tip lines, have been shut down due to all the people just spamming them with false reports and whatnot. Which, makes me smile. Love to see, well, here, people are resisting in any way they can. Yeah, just fuck, man. The news nowadays has been very much not fun. Alright, that's the other side of the face. Need to get the right folder. There we go. Let's see. Bring this in. This here. I think overall I just need to make this line thinner. Just because it stands out a bit too much. So let's see that. Stroke style. Here we go. Let's try dropping down to a 7. Makes it look a bit fainter, but it could be more. 0.5. That's good. And I think just bring the stroke opacity. No, that's opacity for it all. Okay, I'm gonna have to do it manually. Down a little bit more than that. There you go. Now it's a bit more of a suggestion. Then oh nope, that's the wrong one. It got moved. Good save point. No, it's this one. Right? Yes. I think have it ending just about where that corner is. Yeah, just before where the shadow ends, because the shadow still gives some definition. There we go, and I think, let's go back to here. Keep this low, but bring it in, which also really helps blend it to the neck here. Yes, that looks good. Mouth is still a bit off. But that's fine. Mouth there is fine. And because since you raiders also were not here for the earlier message, it is okay to be a little unhealthy if it means that you are able to keep the anxiety at bay, keep yourself from having panic attacks, give yourself time to de-stress. I have been trying to cut out soda from my diet as of late, having equal amounts of water and soda rather than mostly soda. And I've broken that on myself today, because fuck, this week has been a cavalcade of news, if that is the correct term, and if it's not, fuck Kramer. I've gotten, double extra large big gulp of just Dr. Pepper, because I need the caffeine and sugar right now. Where's the mouth? There's mouth frames. But yeah, it's unhealthy to be drinking that much. It's gonna lead to dry throat and harder talking at times, but I need a little treat. And this is not a bad little treat, it just could be better. Let's see, we move this up a bit, this side out. Right, I forgot that this is a separate layer, so we need to move this up. Lips are hard. Okay, let's see, Veringo plan is basically, if things go really bad before July, their mom and them will head to Canada for 6 months while the visa processes. If they take longer to get real bad, just go to Chile. If things get only moderately bad, move to a blue state. I think one of the better ones from last news I heard is Michigan. In California, I think Michigan's probably better, well, cheaper to live in price-wise. California's expensive. But they recently passed some laws saying it's like, yeah, no, we are keeping gender-based protections. They do not decide for us. They cannot make us remove them with a federal level law, which is true. They cannot truly ban transgender people from existing until they reform the amendment and regarding, well, not the amendment, the laws regarding what are protected classes. But also, they can't make it so you can't protect such classes from harassment and what have you. They would have to make laws explicitly making it, I don't know, a federal crime or something, just so states can't give permissions. I mean, they're still going to try that for sure, but it'll have to wait until it becomes law before they can crack down on states for, not being a bunch of transphobic assholes. Nope, wrong thing. This one. Hard is hard. That's why I have to bribe myself with Minecraft. God. Let's see if I do fix that. There we go. I think we need to add another point here just so we have more control over them. Okay. And let's see. Brango saying, and by real bad, they mean bad enough to necessitate getting out. But yeah. I think, at least for the two friends I have with the pinned link, Brock and Madeline, I don't think there is an amount of not bad that is still going to happen. I think the writing's already on the wall enough to cut their losses and get to a country that's already proven to at least be neutral on the state of trans people being people, rather than, stepping down the slope of not seeing them as anything but lesser class human beings. So, and I do not blame them. I wish I could help them better. I wish I could help a lot of my friends better right now. But one cannot fill from a leaking pitcher. Not effectively. Oh, I keep hitting the wrong thing a bit. There we go. So yeah, I will continue to do as much as I can. Because fuck, I know I'm not the biggest of streamers. Hell, I hope not to really become one of them, but I know their audience and mine don't have a lot of overlap, so any additional help I can help get them, I will take advantage of. Actually, the less bad option is chili first, move back if things don't go as bad as you think, yeah. Yeah, it's... God, I wish America had actually cracked down on fucking monopolies and whatnot. Like, to effective degrees, crack down on them. Because fucking... It should be a crime to be a billionaire. And I barely mean that as a joke. It is not possible to have billions of dollars without somewhere down the line, whether through your ancestry or yourself, crimes having been committed. Or at least bribed away. Rights having been ignored of your workers, or anything. It should just not be possible. And yet there are trillionaires in the world. By the status of US dollars, there are people who have trillions in net worth. The only thing that should ever be in that value are banks and international companies. And if you just look at fucking Germany, it's not exactly easy for monopolies to exist there either. U.S. companies try to extend there because they have incredible markets, at least as far as grocery store chains have, if I recall correctly. They have incredible markets, but that is in part due to the unions they have. And companies from the US try to come in here and go, we're not playing with the unions. And then, not just the unions they're trying to snub, but other unions say, nah, you're playing by our rules. And the thing is, they do that because those countries don't have some things like minimum wage or full-time versus part-time hours on the law, because unions decide that. They decide it for the company, and a company not wanting to play with unions means they're definitely up to some shit that you cannot trust. Unions decide maximum number of hours before you have to get more people on staff. Trying to get around that by not working with unions means, well, they want to take advantage of workers. Which is also a lesson. Fucking, if you're in the right industry for it, join your union. It's like, fuck, Starbucks got a union in the last year. Something that most people would have thought was impossible. But they did it. And yeah, just anyone should have a union. And if a company is spending a bunch of money to try and convince you you don't need a union, that just proves all the more that yeah, you do. It's like an advertisement on products. Those are fucking expensive to get commercials and what have you, especially on like Twitch streams. Those are expensive. And the more money they have to put in advertising, the less they're going to put on their products. Because they need to turn a profit. God, these lips are never going to look right, are they? Alright, we got about 8 minutes left. We are going to mess around, not with the face anymore. Let's see, where is... There we go. That one, we're going to do a little work on the teacup. The humble teacup. Which we're going to size... Where is it? Yeah, we're going to kind of size around the fingers here. Let's see. Oh, Brango actually coming in with some things. Let's see. No matter what chili's there for different... Oh, that's the Fall Clans, yeah. But not just banks, national banks. Yes. The only businesses that should be worth trillions of dollars should be nationwide banks. For one, because they're banks. Two, because banks hold money, as well as investments. So people who just have savings account can help the money stored grow. I mean, that's part of how banks work. They invest in other users by letting out loans, not stock markets, what have you. Investment firms are separate from banks, and they should always be so. With the exception of being, what are the terms? Because when I lived in California, I had a Golden One account there, and what I liked about that bank was I could invest in certificates of deposits, or CDs, which are low risk, low return, but nonetheless investments. And the reason I did that was because it was less about growing money, but wanting money in a place I could not easily liquidate it. Yeah, not that I could easily spend it. And having it in just a savings account, it's way too easy to do that. I didn't want that. Also, let's see. Man, I should simplify this, huh? It has been a while since I used this. Let's see. That's the full cup. So if I take that off. I'm not sure why I did that. Okay, let's just see the fill color. It's this. Okay, let's go in here. I'm not sure why I did it like this, because it is so long ago. That's weird. It's because the opacity. There we go. Okay, I see. It's not quite the same size. So perhaps instead of that, I should just combine these two. Or actually, wait. So that's that. Okay, so let's simplify using a trick I did not know back then. Okay, so that's full cup. I go into here, I make the stroke this. And then oh, gonna settle Barango? Yeah, no worries. Take care, and I'll see you around the Discord server as well. Sad you couldn't stick around for Minecraft, but health comes first. To you as well. Hope you're eating enough, drinking enough, getting enough sleep. Take care of your body so it can take care of you, especially in these times of crises. Alright, let's see. Is it because I have that visible? There we go. I guess keeping it separate layers here helps that kind of be gently fuzzy. But I don't quite want that. What if I do... Okay, so that's all that. What if I change it with the gradient on the stroke instead? Yes, like that. Simplified. That way it looks more like this is a gold rim here with a couple details there, but it also stands out from the saucer. That's good. I think with that I can safely delete these layers. Now this, I know I do need to keep as several layers to get that kind of like shadow looking effect. Oh, come on, let me name 1, 2, 3. Then to prove that it looks good, even separate. Ah, wonderful. When I actually set up these poses, I will have, I think for the hand moving around, I'll sometimes have like the dish just wobble down there, and that'll look good. But yeah, for now, I think that's a good place to stop for art. As for last time, I will separate the art and Minecraft parts of the videos for the different viewers who like different parts. But I'm going to just go to a quick break to get that set up over there. So I'll see you guys in a little bit.